All right, so welcome everybody to automation for Pinterest. Gonna reiterate just kind of what I just said because I wasn't recording it because that's how I roll. But we definitely do need automation. And with Pinterest, what's one of the questions I always get asked, because I remember using automation very early on social media like Facebook and Twitter, and they really kind of shut you down fairly quickly if everything was automated and you weren't engaging on a personal level or one-on-one, or like looks like you're participating on there. So there are a lot of social medias that aren't a big fan of automation. They want you to be physically on there doing the work, the engagement, that kind of thing, which I get. It is social media. On the flip side of that, Pinterest says automate away, right? Feel free to use automation tools. Now, we do have partnerships with a few companies because these are people that we've approved of. They are doing this correctly. And I will say that over the last few months, with some of the changes that have been going on with Pinterest, they're really working their butt off to provide an incredible automation tool for us as Pinterest users and business builders, so that we can get more engagement around our pins. We can get in front of our audience. So, you know, when Sarah said, I'm using this and this is what it's done for my audience, this is what it's done for my growth on my business page for Pinterest, I was like, okay, you need to like pull back the curtain, like, right, and show some of us what the heck you're doing. So Sarah, really, I know you're a busy mom. Yeah. Everybody's home right now. I really do appreciate and thank you so much for being on here and training us and sharing with us how to use this incredible tool to grow our business. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it on over to you because I want to respect everyone's time. And everybody, let's give a wave thingamajiggy for Sarah and for what she's doing, because I really appreciate this.
All right, so super excited actually, and also very nervous because I haven't done very many trainings like this before, so I was really excited and nervous that Katrina decided to ask me to do this. So I was like, all right, what am I going to share? All right. And so last night, I'm always I'm a procrastinator and I do it at the last minute. So last night at 11:30 o'clock, I was like, all right, write this out. Okay, I've got some stuff. Okay. So let me go ahead and share my screen because I actually took some screenshots to share with you about what it has done for me. Okay. So let me know if you can see this. I'll go ahead and go big screen. That helps. Okay. So how to naturally increase your Pinterest audience using Tailwind and without any ad spend, and without spending a ton of hours on Pinterest. Because that was one thing I hated about Instagram and Facebook, is it just felt like you had to spend a lot of time on there to get that audience growth, right? You had to always be there, but you don't. So I actually pulled some screenshots. So this is before I even started really using Pinterest. I've always loved Pinterest, but this is always before I even started with Tailwind, before I even took Katrina's Pinterest ad or Pinterest course. And so this was $250 per month. Like, this was very low. Then this was after, I was like, so you see that little spike at the end there? So end of September was when I took the course. I was like, oh, I can use this. So that's where that spike came from. And then it slowly grew, but not very fast. So this is where it gets a little exciting. November is when I actually went into Tailwind. See, so November 21st, you see that right there? This is where I signed up with Tailwind, went spike, and then it's just kind of gone up from there.
So wait, hold on. Okay. Okay, I don't think you guys are catching this. Can you go back a slide?
Yeah.
All right, so I want you guys to be very aware of what she just shared with you. Her impressions, if you look right here, can anyone see that her impressions were the max was 600 impressions? Does everyone see that?
This is over an entire month, 1.4.
So over the entire month, this is her month right here. The most any of her pins total
in a day
getting any viewership was less than 600 eyeballs.
Yeah.
Everybody sees that, right? 600, October. We're talking October of last year. This is not very long ago.
No.
We're talking 6 months ago.
So this is
Okay.
September as well. So like if you see that number, 172, that was all I was getting.
Yeah. I mean, so she went from nothing before going through pinning ingredients. Now she's up here with pinning ingredients, right? She's starting to get some after the course. If you go to the next slide, she's getting up to 600, but then we start talking about Tailwind and watch what happens to our numbers. This number is actually 6,000. It was 100 or 1,000% increase, 1,622%.
Yeah,
Increase.
just from starting to use Tailwind. So that was November, and then December is when because I signed up November 21st.
Right.
When I first signed up, and so December is when my numbers really went up continuously. So like this 20,000 per day impressions. So it can make, like, this is from November to December, I don't know, from 24,000 to almost 100,000. Like, it was insane how much it increased all of a sudden. And then this is just this month. This is from April 1st to April 20th.
So she's still in that 7,000 to 10,000 range, right? And so the reason I want to point this out, that what I had her share what she's sharing, is because Pinterest is less about your following and more about the impressions. You want to know how many people are getting eyeballs on your pins. That is a way better number than how many people are following you on Pinterest. Followers are honestly probably don't do much for you in the very beginning, because it's all about, are people getting impressed? Are they following you because they want to follow you based on your information? Her total audience is growing, right? And we're talking about, this is all organic.
Yes.
All organic. She's got her claimed accounts, and if she has her tags set up correctly, she's actually able to start creating a custom audience that's engaging with her pins just because of how she's using Tailwind.
Yep.
Anybody is like, oh, what do you guys think about this? Who's excited? I knew you guys would be excited. All right. So cool statistics. Definitely keep those around. And, you know, I'm glad I'm recording this because you're going to want to share this all over the place, Sarah, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course. All right. How do I get
any questions before we move into, are you going to be diving into
actual
Tailwind next,
yeah.
correct?
Yeah, I'm going to be diving in there next.
I have lots of questions, but I can attest to what the numbers she just showed us. I've been doing it for almost the last month, and my numbers have just started to spike. So awesome. I'll hold my questions.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, if you want to put them in the chat, then we can
make sure
get to them or even write them down. So, because I know with me, if I was like, oh, I have a question. If I don't write it down by the end, I'm like, what was my question? So yeah, use the chat, write it down, whatever. All right, so let's dive in. So if you are not familiar with Tailwind, this is where you sign up. You go to their main site, and you can just sign up with your Pinterest account, or like Chef mentioned earlier, you can sign up with your Instagram. I have dabbled a little bit in Instagram. It's actually really cool, so I could go in that a little bit if you want, but we're mostly focusing in on Pinterest. So let's go into my dashboard. So the one thing I love about Tailwind, other than the fact that you can automate it and you can just basically pin all your stuff for a week and then be done, is it gives you stats. So it'll show, all right, you've got 40 repins. This is people who have repinned a pin that I put up, reshared it to their own boards. It shows how many domain pins that I've shared over the last week, how many followers have increased. So this followers, since I started with Tailwind, it's gone up from, I had 69 followers, I think, which were all like friends and family, to I think now I'm at 89. So just within, and this has been a lot of the community that you have created, Chef, where we're each following each other. It's been great, which I love to be able to see other people as well. Which then let's get into the next part with tribes. Okay, so you see that notification with my tribes. I'm part of 5 tribes. If you sign up, I did forget to go into what are the different subscriptions, but I'm at the more, I'm not the free version. I'm just at the little basic one, and you can sign up for 5 tribes, and you can share up to 30 pins per month, and it resets every 29 days, right? So right here is my quotes get the best reshares. So this is, I have 10 quotes up here. Close this out. But you see all these right here, these 7 new, these are all pins that I've shared over the last 6 months. And I just share 1 or 2 a month, and they just continuously get repins, reshared. They continually get out there onto Pinterest, which is another reason for your growth. Like if you can continue to get your pins out there and noticed, you're going to, by other people other than yourself, you're going to get more exposure. Any questions about tribes, or should I just wait until the end?
No, so one thing I do like about this is that you can choose the tribes that best fit you.
Mm-hmm.
So look at how you want to use tribes, because they're a way to get your brand in front of people, your products and services, right?
Yes.
So you want to be intentional with the tribes you join. So one of the things that you have in your, so you're part of 5 tribes, correct?
Yeah. And so, yeah, totally forgot. Yeah. So you can go into so many different categories of what tribes. There are so many tribes out here. So you can search. So for me, my website is all about moms and healthier moms. So when I looked for it, I went, so let's search for what tribes are there for moms, and 204 results came up. One thing you do want to look for is the activity, whether they're being repinned and shared a lot versus the lower 2 bars. It means it's active, but it's not that active.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can just go through, and they have, a lot of them have like rules where you have, if you leave one, put up a pin, you have to share a pin. And I actually didn't go into that again. So let's, so if you go back into your tribes, so you can hide what you've already scheduled. People are always showing up in, or putting new pins in here. So you can just go in here, you can put in your board. You can actually even change the pin title, the pin description. The only thing you can't change is the link.
Correct.
And which obviously you don't want to, because it's they want their information out there, so you want to respect that. But sometimes, like, the pin description, the title's missing, or because the title was new, it's brand new to Tailwind, so you weren't able to put in a title. So sometimes they don't have a title, so add in a title. Where was I going? So these are the tribes, and you can look into the insights on how you're doing with your tribes. Sorry, my internet's a little slow.
Yeah, so there is a tribe. So I know one of the things I'm looking to create to kind of help this community and this group also is to have a tribe where we can put in our pins, so that, yes, I make sure that we have that activity once a week, at least on a pin. But the beautiful thing about the tribe is that if I do a tribe for Pinterest marketing, really, I think I might try to change it from network marketing to Pinterest marketing.
Mm-hmm.
The reason being is that this allows for you to then take anybody's pins, as everybody in the group's using this, and then repin those to your boards. And this, again, we talk about using Pinterest and being consistent with it. What I like about the tribes and the being able to go into tribes and find pins that you want to, reschedule and share with people, is that it takes the headache out of trying to hunt and peck through the Pinterest platform, trying to find what pins would be valuable. Now they're all kind of in one location. They're built around a topic, and you're going to be using that. So like, you have health and fitness,
Mm-hmm.
you have lifestyle, chronic illness, mental health, and self-help, right? You've got moms with a purpose. And then you've got, quotes and words of wisdom.
Yep.
Right. So we want to look at, getting these groups and being part of these tribes working. So can you show us how to, pin to a tribe or pin out of a tribe?
Yeah. So let's go. All right, so once you find something you like, and we haven't actually gone into how to schedule anything yet, but we can go from here on tribes. Basically, all right, so you know what? I really like this one. Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. So all you simply do is you type in your board, and if you see this refresh boards list, so if you ever add in a new board, you can refresh this list right away and add it then to your new board. So you just click like that. Then you see down here, add to queue. So Tailwind has a queue, and we'll get into that next, but you simply just add to queue just like that, and it's already now into your queue, just as easy as like that. And you can always go in and change it, like if you want to move it around or do that. So let's go in. Shall we go into that next, or you want to keep going with tribes?
No, is anybody have any questions around tribes, how we're using them? Since we're in here, I kind of want to help answer any questions around them. Creating tribes is pretty easy too. So any questions?
I have a question.
Yep.
When I go into your tribes, there's only the same board keeps popping up. It's not mine, it's one of my tribes. And I can't figure out how to pull up all of the boards that I can go into them, look at their pins and things like that. Does that make sense?
Are you saying a pin or a board?
The tribe boards.
Okay.
Like,
So what
are
tribe are you?
these are not your boards right now, are they? Yes,
These-
these are your boards.
So these
So-
are not my tribes. So I did not create any of them. These are tribes that were created. These pins right here are all from other people who have added it to this tribe.
So quotes
mine
is
right here.
not your board, your tribe. I mean, you've joined this tribe.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So how did you pop up that list of the different tribes, I'm assuming, that were
So
there?
the find a tribe right here is where you'll
Okay.
go to find different tribes or new tribes. You can always leave a tribe if you
No,
find it's
I
not
already-
working for you.
I already know that. I
Okay.
need to know. I have 4 of 5 tribes. I've joined 4 of 5.
Okay.
I cannot figure out how to pull up the other 3 boards. So
Oh.
I have the whole list like you just had there.
Okay. So right here, this little drop down menu, that's where you switch between your tribes.
It does not drop down like that. So because it's like, this does not make sense.
No.
So
So
that means that you're only in one tribe then.
Well, I have 4 of 5 up in the right-hand corner.
It's possible. It could be your browser you're using, like the drop down menu doesn't work, or you might need to sign out and sign back in.
Can we
I know
have her
sometimes
screen
if
share
I
real quick?
Pardon?
Do you want to have her screen share? Or do you want to, because we're here and I think this is going to be valuable for everybody.
Yeah, this will work because it'll pop up because you all are watching.
Yeah. So show us what you got
Okay.
inside of here.
I'm assuming I want the Zoom. Okay.
Go into your Tailwind.
Mm-hmm.
Go into
Okay.
your tribes.
So, all right.
You've got 14 reshares.
Yep.
Yeah, my numbers have been awesome, but it's been very frustrating.
So yeah, you see
Okay,
those
so
arrows?
you're saying pop right here.
Yep. So
There they
these,
are.
Of course. I told you, it's because y'all are here. I have not been able to get that up.
okay.
Okay, super. Thank
So
you.
this shows the 4 tribes that you're in. So internet marketing, super friends, fashion, beauty, makeup, fitness tribe, and network marketing training.
Yeah, and if
Mhm.
you see these number boxes right next to your tribes, the 1521, those are the number of pins that you've reshared and also you've added in. So one
Okay.
thing to keep in mind is there are certain rules for each tribe. If you're sharing too many of your own, but not sharing enough out of there, they could kick you out.
Right. And the problem's been is because I couldn't pull up these boards.
Yep.
Because
you
I
go.
want to be fair to everybody,
Yeah.
and I don't want to get kicked out. So, okay, now my next question, down here,
Mhm.
I can't seem to like click on these, so I can go to their Pinterest boards that I might be able to pick pick a pin that I want to share.
Mhm.
So how do you do that? Like, oops.
So
I would,
do you want to actually go to their Pinterest, or do you want to go to their Tailwind?
well, that's a good question. I wanted to go to Pinterest to look at their pins to see which one I wanted to share for them.
So you should be able to, if you look that pop-up right here that's on the middle of the screen after you're hovering, you
And
should be
I've never
able
seen
to,
that before.
so you should be able to go up here and either click on their follow or click on their name, and you should be able to be then redirected to their own Pinterest.
Okay. Oh, I am so glad y'all are here looking at this because this is the first time I've seen it in a month.
And one thing that's nice about this is that, so you see that chat button? So if you see somebody, you see a lot of their pins in your tribe, and you just really like their content, start up a chat and say, hey, I really like your stuff. Would you want to collaborate or something? You could set up collaborations in where it's like, especially if you have your own website with your own blog, say, hey, would you mind, can I have you write a blog post and I'll put it up on my website or something like that. I've seen
Okay.
a lot of people do that in the chats where they say, hey, you want to collaborate with a blog post. So if you don't want to write your own content all the time, this is a great way to get some content.
That's awesome because I have done down here in the like the lower right hand corner. There's a bubble that says chats.
Yep.
And so I look at those and I've carried on some conversations. So this is
like,
cool.
You can even see like Harriet here or Henrietta says, hi, Red, I'm looking for entrepreneurs who. So she's looking already, right? So this is a potential request for something.
Okay, super. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, of course. Any other questions?
How many of you are finding this helpful to see and kind of poke around through? Okay.
Awesome.
All right, Sarah, back at it. Let's talk about scheduling and the power of scheduling.
All right, so the power of scheduling is here in the publisher. So I actually got some pins ready to put in here so I could show you how easy it is to drop them in and put them in here. So it's easy as either dropping them from your computer folder into the Tailwind, and I'll show you that, or even just clicking here and upload photos or videos. You can do videos on here. I have noticed they can be a little iffy sometimes going from Tailwind to Pinterest. So I like to just do videos straight to Pinterest. So let's see, I'll show you this way first and then I'll show you the other way. Downloads. So I need to unzip them first. Sorry, just a second. Okay. All right, here we go. So you can easily just grab them like this and then hit open, and they'll upload all three just like that. Or you can even go to a folder. Oh, I gotta move your faces out of the way. Sorry, people. That's not the one I want. I downloaded too many. I don't know where I'm at. I think I just unzipped all of them from the same one. That's funny. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, then, so I don't know, can you guys see what I'm doing at all? I just realized.
Yeah, I mean, we see you clicking on new pin. We see Tailwind. So we see how master Pinterest marketing 2020. So I'm seeing the drafts.
Okay, so you're not seeing actual the full, my downloads. Hold on, let me reshare real quick. Oh,
Nope, whatever you're moving your mouse to, we're not seeing that at all. I mean, it's cool, but we're not seeing it.
Okay, where's my desktop? I don't see it as an option.
So when you do the share, it doesn't do desktop anymore. Now it asks for like, are you using Chrome and what's in Chrome? And it's
all right.
Definitely a little more specific now.
Okay, so I can't, I won't be able to show that then. All right. So basically what I'm doing is I'm grabbing a folder, just like I did from Create New, and grabbing all three of them like this and just dropping them in. So I'm going to grab them and drop them in just so that you can see them this way. So you see how it says drop files below now?
Got it. Okay.
So you can drop them straight from a folder, or you can drop them from here.
Interesting. So there's multiple ways to get those pins, and it looks like they're already kind of presetting themselves here into the schedule.
Yeah, so that's one thing that's nice about the scheduler, right? This is the schedule. So you can add or remove time slots, but each time slot is created based on when your audience is likely to see your pins. So they actually pre-populate all the times. They basically analyze your Pinterest and say, you know what, based on your audience, based on what you've been sharing, these time slots would be great for you. And also based on when most pinners are on Pinterest. Okay. So it's just as easy to add a time slot and to take it away, just like that.
So Tailwind kind of presets everything for you. So just to give you guys some feedback, because I've been kind of studying this also, you'll notice that your weekly pinning schedule might be very late in the evening, or you see like everything's happening. There's very few AMs. You have to think how and when we use Pinterest. Typically, it's not a social media. It's something we tend to look at more in the evening time. So Tailwind has learned over time kind of when people are on and when you're getting in here. So you're seeing a few of hers. They do have the AM, PM kind of a thing, but the fact that this is all preset for you kind of gives you the opportunity to set it and forget it.
Yeah. So yeah, like she was saying, there's usually not very many AMs, and that's mostly on like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. When sometimes, you know what, I have a little downtime on Saturday. Oh, I'm going to scroll through my Pinterest. And so that's kind of where it is. But most of the time, Monday through Friday, people are working. So in the evening.
So it's very similar to Buffer, and of the fact that you can use it for anything, but the advantage of using Tailwind for what we're sharing with you is the fact that it is really geared towards optimization for Pinterest, including the tribes. And I think you're going to talk about it here just in a second, the looping element.
Yeah, so this smart loop right here, this slot is scheduled just for my smart loop. Now I actually have all my smart loops. If you see over here, these are my smart loops turned off right now. Mostly because of the update that Pinterest recently did with, they want fresh pins. And so what a fresh pin is whether with a new picture or a new website, new link. And so the Smart Loop, I feel like, so when I watched a training on Smart Loop or on Tailwind, they said that Smart Loops are really great for seasonal. So if you have a store and you consistently every year have a sale that you want to make sure your pins are getting out there again for that sale, Smart Loop is the greatest way to do it, because they have like actual, so let's go ahead and go through that Smart Loop. They have
so like if you have things, so I know I've got a couple of real estate agents that are here watching this. So if you have things that typically happen in seasons, right? What's nice is that you can create that pin once, and then in 5 or 6 months, it'll loop itself again. So you don't have to worry about that. So even if you're building out all of this one, you can set it up so things loop. You can kind of schedule the looping time. So there's a lot. Yeah, there's evergreen, there's seasonal, right? There's a 26-second video that shows you how to do this. So these are great tools to utilize. Again, automation for Pinterest is looked upon as a smart thing to be doing, right? So I mean, I can't tell you how many people I've come across on Pinterest when I've actually talked to them. They're like, oh, my VA does all my pinning for me. Oh, I have it all automated doing it. Like, majority of people from a business perspective aren't on here every day, posting their pins. They're using automation tools so that they can focus in on what's important, like taking care of your client, building a course, doing customer support, that kind of thing. And they're not worried so much about the marketing element of this, but this is ridiculously cool.
Yeah. So like kind of adding on to that seasonal. So for a realtor, it's springtime, how to get your house ready for springtime, kind of have that spring seasonal post go out every year around March or April. And then then you just basically forget about it. It's kind of cool. So as far as like spend how much time, so that's why I wanted to show you how easy it is to drop your pins in. So you easily just drop them in. And then one thing that is really cool. So right here, you create your title, you create description. You can't actually schedule anything until you have a title, description, and a link. It's pretty nice that way. So if in case you forget, it's like, nope, you need to add this. But with this also, they have what you can do is lists, board lists. So if you have a favorite 3 or 4 boards that you like to pin to on a consistent basis. So for like this one, these are my network marketing products. They're very health and wellness related, or they're product related. So I click on this list and it populates right there all the boards that I want to pin it to.
That's what they say when you can pin up to 10 boards in one fell swoop.
Yep. I mean, you can also do that up here. You can, if you throw in all the pins that you know are all going to be on product lists, you can just do like this, and it's going to do it on all the pins that you have in your drafts.
Sarah, are all these pins yours?
Except for these first 2, but yes, all of these are mine.
Okay, because when I've done Smart Loop, it says choose a board, and the first one, it has entrepreneur. And I'm thinking, okay, I'll just leave that go. No, it won't let me out of the box until I choose, but they're all my boards. Do you want to send them to your boards? Don't you want to send them out?
So this right here, so let me show you. Sorry, let me actually just refresh my page real quick so I can not save the changes. There we go. So that's one thing that's nice, is if you have done that and you're like, no, I don't want to do that, just refresh your page and it'll erase all you've done. But if you want to make sure you save all of it that you've done, make sure you hit the save changes button at the bottom. Otherwise you lose everything you worked on. But as far as like, so this product list, so these are community boards. Is that what you mean, Deb?
Actually, I was thinking like the tribe boards.
Oh, the tribe board. So that's actually,
or any board, but it seems like it's just my boards that I can add.
Yeah. So in this type of board name, these are all just your boards and that you're a part of. Now, if you want to add it to a tribe, you can do that right here. Just add to a tribe. But again, you want to make sure you have a title, a description, and the link in there before you do that.
Okay. So when I have to choose the boards that are my boards, I guess to me, I'm thinking I'm hitting a dead end. It's my pin, it's my board. Why do I want to send it to my board? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So can I answer this one for you, Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay. So the beautiful thing is that as you guys start developing out more and more boards, you might find that you have multiple boards on the same topic that that one pin that you can create can fit into. Like you might have a pin that you create that's for network marketing training. It might also be relevant for entrepreneurial training, right? So you might have multiple boards that you've created that a pin would fit into. Now, we do also talk about, joining other collaboration boards so that you can share into. So like the green ones here that Sarah has, right? Those are group boards. So she's looking for other boards to join so that she can get more exposure for her pins, right? So that's one of the things we talk about. And you guys will notice there's an update. I haven't told you all, so you guys are the first to know. But there's an update inside of the virtual pin shop. When I show you how to create your boards, I found a really cool tool that will actually show you how to join collaboration boards.
Ooh.
So there's a new little update that's inside of there, and you're able to kind of search and find other collaboration boards to join. And in doing that, then you can take your pins and add them to other collaboration boards. So there's a benefit to repinning your pins to your own board. So like what Sarah's showing here, if this pin hasn't been, she's created this pin and it hasn't been pinned to her Modare board yet, then she can make sure it gets pinned to this board. But she also knows that she's got a board just for health and wellness, right? And so the health and wellness might be a blend of her pins, and maybe if she finds other pins that resonate with her, that would go on this board also.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Exactly right. Yeah.
So you're looking at a board that's just for your products, and you're looking at a board that maybe would fit for your overall audience, right? So again, like we were talking with some of the real estate agents that I work with, you could be looking for communities or community boards that are for, architect, that are for designs in your area, for landscaping in your area. And you might want to be part of those community boards, right? You might find community boards for events that are going on in your area, right? And so it's getting part of these boards and then having your own boards, the blend between the two. You want to get your pin to get as many exposures as possible. But like even with Sarah, and we've been talking about, she might have 2 or 3 pins that all go to the same page or URL. But this allows for us to have multiple images out there for our brand's products and services. Does that answer your question, Deb?
Probably, but it still doesn't make sense why I'm sending it to my board.
Why wouldn't you want to pin it to your board? It's your pin.
Because it's already there. Why would I want to resend it?
How long ago did you pin it there?
Pardon?
How long ago did you pin it there?
Most of them that I've been doing over the last month are the new pins that I've been creating. So fairly fresh.
So what you can do is, instead of uploading them to Pinterest yourself, take those newly created pins you're using in Canva and upload them here into Tailwind and then post them to your boards.
So I can create a pin here in Tailwind?
No, you create it in Canva and then you upload it here to Tailwind. And that's where you can post it to different boards.
Okay, so basically what I've done in Canva is create the pin, but not the description or anything. And that's what I can do in here. Mm-hmm. Okay. Another piece falls in.
Another cool trick about this is, so one thing that Tailwind has and Pinterest were training is that, yes, it's okay to put to multiple boards like that, but to use this fancy little use interval button. This makes it so that your pins don't all go right in one bunch. So, because if you go to Pinterest, let's just pull that up real quick, and you go to your
smart. I didn't realize that was there, but that is really smart.
So you go to your profile, and instead of having all that one pin go out 4 times, you're going to be able to interval it so that you always have something different showing up on your Pinterest feed.
That's so smart.
And so it's preset right now for 7 days. That is one thing they said that is like a good interval date. You can go down to as little as 2 days, but they said 7 days is a pretty good interval. So now you see over here on my schedule how I've got these lock buttons. These are intervals that I've already done. So I've got pins that I've already set up and they've gone out. And so this is how you can easily fill up your schedule for a month by using these intervals.
Wow. That's ridiculously brilliant. I didn't even know that was there.
And so the nice thing is, so you can set the interval. So I want it to start with today, but see, look, I've got a similar pin here. So if I do the product list again, an interval, you know what, I want it to actually start now in 2 days. So it's not again consecutively again. So I just hit that, it pre-populates into my queue just like that, center interval, and done.
You literally can do everything. You can put all your pins in here that you're doing and set yourself up for the whole month and just know that everything's going out, and then just come in here once a week just to check on everything and answer any questions.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I've loved it, because there's some times where like I will get busy. Life is hectic with 2 little kids. And it's like, oh crap. Wait, do I have any pins going out? And I go in here. Oh yeah, I forgot. I set them up already. So it's pretty nice that way, especially with the interval and all that. Oh, I just lost my train of thought, but yeah, so that's a really cool trick, is the interval, and you can easily just go in and change it. You can even set like these specific times here. You can say, I want it in optimized slots, or you want it to be in different optimized times or exact times. You can change so they're going out at each time that day. Optimized is just when the best, or just open time slots.
So the set interval is down at the bottom before you say add to queue.
Correct. Yeah, so if here, I'll just type it in here real quick. So right here. So if you ever have more than one board listed on that pin when you're adding it into Tailwind, this use interval button will show up. Otherwise, it will not be there.
Okay. You know, the other nice thing, I didn't know about that interval, interval button, but I would go in and I would fill up, and it's so nice because you actually can forget about it. Mm-hmm. And then possibly Tailwind will send me an email and say, your queue is empty. And so then I know to go in and refill.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Sarah, I apologize. This is Gina. I was late. Can you do pre-scheduling more than 1 month out?
Oh, yeah. So let's see, my schedule goes all the way. Yeah. So you can go as far as you need to. It'll just continue to populate for you.
Yeah. So the more time you spend on this than this, you can do a month out, 2 months out. I have social media managers that do anywhere from 3 to 4 months out that I've worked with that use this tool. And again, some of them had to adjust due to kind of what we're going through right now. But yeah, you can absolutely set this out as far out as you have got pins to share.
Yep. And the nice thing about with the fresh pins idea, if you have a blog post that you put up last year, create 5 new pins for it, put it up there, and then you have people going to that old blog post again.
And every time you have a blog post, that's a new link.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, even if you use a blog post from last year, that's not a new link, you just put a fresh image with it or fresh color, and it's a fresh pin again. Like this is something I've put out there a few different times now, but I could just continue to put up new image, a new text or something like that, and it's considered a fresh pin. All right, so that's how easy it is to schedule. Any questions on that?
Yeah, I don't know about each of you, but I'm like mind blown on how simple this is to get this set up, and the fact that you can have it kind of populate, because that was the one thing it drives me nuts when you try to do it manually. If you want it on different boards, it looks like you've repinned this pin like 6 times. So I love the fact that I should be and we'll be bringing it in here and really better utilizing this tool inside of this.
So to do the board list, this is where I wanted to show you.
Oh, yes, that's what I was going to ask next. I'm like, how do you create those awesome board lists?
So it's all under this publisher tab right here. You just go down to the board list, create new boards, click to add, and say, you know what, so let's say for books, I've got like books to read. Sometimes I do quotes with them. They're awesome for network marketers, for entrepreneurs. So that training, also for building a network marketing. So you can just add in, and I recently read something where you want to add 2 to about 15 boards at a time. So if you do that many, you will start be able to fill up that schedule pretty fast. But and then you just name it as what you want. So these are books or stuff like that. And then it's ready to go. It'll show up. You saw that little question mark saying, okay, you're good. You can also delete it. If it's like, you know what, that's not quite what I want it to be, so I'm going to delete it. You can also edit it some more from here, add more boards, and so on.
So these are all your boards?
Yeah, these are all, the blue ones are my boards, the green are a community board.
Oh, they all look blue to me.
Oh, so there's on the green ones, there's a little like a multi-person thing right in front of it. Those are the community boards, and then the rest of them are my boards.
Okay.
And then the other nice thing is, like, you know what, the nice thing about creating a board on Pinterest. So let's say, you know what, I have a pin, doesn't really fit into any of these of my boards that I already have. Just go on over to your boards, create a new board, and as soon as you're done creating it, you just go over to your Tailwind again, and this refresh button will show up in with, like, right there, refresh. It'll show the newest ones up top, and then it's good to go.
Wow.
So it's really, really slick. That's one thing I love about Tailwind, is how slick it is.
I think the thing that threw me was the fact that I thought I was going to be doing other people's, putting pins and sharing their pins on other people's boards, not mine. So that's where I got lost. It's always my boards, and it's like, no, I don't want to do my boards. So this is awesome.
Yeah, so you got to remember that Pinterest, again, is personal. And so you're looking to join tribes that would benefit your ideal customer, right? So that you can find and curate content for them and put them onto your boards, your community boards. That's why it's important to have boards that benefit, that aren't your pins, that would benefit your audience.
And speaking of which, that's actually one thing I wanted to go into. So if you're scrolling through or searching for stuff and you see something that you're like, oh, you know what, my audience would love this, or even it's like, I would love this, right? So you can either save here, but see, I have this right here, this Tailwind logo that pops up. So I have an extension on my Google Chrome. I just click on that. It pops up this window saying, all right, where do you want to save it to? But you know what, actually, I want to save it for later. So I'm going to hit the save it for later. And this now shows all my drafts that I have in Tailwind right now.
Yeah, we're not seeing that, but I do know what you're pointing to. So we're not seeing that extra pop-up window.
Of course, because it doesn't allow me the whole, all right.
No,
so yeah, there's a pop-up window that shows up. But now, since I added it to my drafts, you can go back over to drafts and scroll down, and there it is.
Yeah.
So it's really easy. So if you don't have to always, if you're going through Pinterest, you don't always have to just save it right away. You can easily schedule it from Pinterest to Tailwind. You can even do it from your phone, which is kind of nice. So if you're on your phone, even you can add it to your drafts from your phone.
Or mobile. I love it. So I have a quick question, Sarah, since you're kind of more of a definite bigger user than I have been recently until now I see all this cool stuff. Regina wants to know if you can manage more than one account from each platform. Like, can you?
Yes. So right up here, you can add a new account. So you can manage accounts. So if you want to add in another Pinterest account, add in a new Pinterest account, just like that.
Ooh.
So one thing that is, I believe that you have to do is per Pinterest account, you have to have like either purchase the plus or have it, because like my Instagram account is still on free trial because you have to purchase something for each account.
Yeah, I do know that this was something that Tailwind updated just recently. So if you're going to be doing the automation for Instagram, it's a separate cost. I think it's like $9 a month to do it. I think if you check the pricing, that's what it is. But one of the things to pull in here for you all, for those that are looking at, but you can track your Google Analytics in here, right? You can talk about having teams and collaborators in here. So if you have a team that you're working with, so there's some benefits and features, and trust me, there are a lot of social media managers that do use Tailwind and automation tools like this one, and they're running multiple accounts. So it would make sense that Tailwind said, yes, you can absolutely add accounts. And if you're a social media manager using this tool, that should be covered in the cost of, doing business with them, or however you're setting that up. But yeah, you can open this up or create those teams and collaborations or upgrade to the next level for that.
And it's just as quick of a switch as going up to your profile and switching to the account.
Yeah.
So is this a free account, otherwise the basic, or you pay for it?
Mine is a plus account.
Okay, so what do you pay?
Paid for?
That's paid for. I don't know how much I paid for. I did it.
It was so. Don't click on that one. But so I know probably around the time you're doing it. So I'll just tell you guys this right now. Every Black Friday they run a fairly good deal. Yeah, I think I got 50% off for a year membership. So I think it only cost me like $42 for the year to have access to the plus version of this.
That's a long time away.
Yeah, but honestly, the cost of this. So Sarah, if you can just type in Tailwind over here in a new tab.
Yeah.
Tailwindapp.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am like 3 pins short of using up the free, because I've been on the free.
Yeah, scroll down.
So I wanted to wait for this training before I did the plus.
Yeah. So with the free version of this, you are limited to so many pins that you can put up there before you have to go to the plus version. Go ahead and go down. So there is like the Smart Loop in the Tailwind tribe. So there's so I think if we go down, there is a pricing. I remember seeing it.
It's right there at the bottom of the blue.
Yep, stop.
Go
back up. Go back up.
Right about.
Stop. Go up. Stop.
There it is. See pricing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We'll get there. So it's $9.99 per account. So if you're asking, can you have other accounts? Then yes, you can. So there's if you do annual, you'll have a savings. If you do monthly, you're paying on a month to month. The free trial, you are limited to how many you can do for free, but with the paid or the plus program of this one, that's 250 smart loops. You can be into 5 Tailwind tribes. You can always add more tribes for an extra cost.
So the smart loop posts, just as a clarification, this isn't like you can't have 250. I mean, I guess you could 250 different smart loops. Those 250 smart loop posts are each pin that you post in a smart loop counts as a post.
Got it.
So you can only have 250 per month.
Got it. So using them effectively, and it's called a power up. So it is, you can have more accounts, and you're just going to be paying to access those, to have those accounts inside of there.
Yep.
So scroll down because it asks what's included in the free trial. So could go back up a little.
Oh,
The free trial, you can schedule up to 100 pins for free. on Pinterest and 30 on Instagram. So there's no time limit on your trial and there's no credit card needed. So if you want to just get a sense or a feel for your first 100 pins up on Pinterest, you can use this one. And then if you want to continue to use it, then you would upgrade to the Plus plan. And I would just say go through and just kind of click on everything if you want more information around this. But honestly, I mean, it does give you the option to post to Facebook, and it does give you the option to post also to Twitter. But predominantly this Tailwind platform is to increase and grow engagement around Pinterest and Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
More image-based. So there is going to be a record. So this is being recorded. That's the second question everybody's asking. This is being recorded. So if you guys want to go back and kind of pick through anything, if you go back to Tailwind also, Sarah, you guys see here up at the top, there is this awesome like question things like you can help grow Tailwind, but this question also gives you some Tailwind guide videos. I know always say this, the people that build the platform know it better than I. And probably even maybe Sarah.
Yes, that's actually where I learned a lot of it. Is I would get an email, oh, learn about this. I was like, oh, what is this? And then that's how I learned about the intervals and all that stuff. So
yeah,
They also have Zoom calls, I think, weekly.
yep.
oh yeah, yeah, they do. On their YouTube channel, they post those up. Those are pretty useful too.
And I mean, if you're going to be somebody that's a social media manager running some massive accounts for some other people, you might want to go with the enterprise. And there was underneath that question mark an option to do enterprise also.
Mm-hmm.
So request an enterprise demo to see what you get with that one. So if you are running multiple accounts and it makes more sense to be at enterprise level, then that probably will unlock some extra bonus features. The one thing that you were pointing to in here, Sarah, is underneath the schedule or the publisher.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you guys, we talked about drafts, we talked about scheduled pins, we talked about smart loops, we talked about your schedule, and we even talked about board lists, which I think is freaking awesome.
I also wanted to go into this published pins.
Yep.
Because you can see how well a pin has been doing, and then you can easily reschedule it, add it to your tribe. So like if you want to test something and see how it's doing, so let's see if I just go all pins from my website. It's like, you know what, this one actually did really well. I think I'm going to add it now to my tribe. So you can say add to tribe and say, all right, I'm going to add it to, I don't know which one this would go to, but you can add it to one of the tribes, add to tribe, just like that. So if you want to test a pin first, you can easily go into the publisher and say, you know what, let's see, or you can even do it just by board. So it's like, so for like my quotes, I can go into my quotes right here, look at, see, all right, you know what, this pin is doing, this pin is so funny. Every Friday I get a repin. It's so fun. And so you can easily add it to a tribe from here and reschedule this pin just like that. Or you can even find similar content if you want to do that. So the publisher is pretty easy. And then you can also get pin insights. That's where I was going to go next. But any questions with this here?
Yeah, I would say continue on to pin insights. This has been really, really super helpful.
All right. So with the insights, it'll give you basically any information about your pin profile. It also has information about your website insights, which is kind of nice. It doesn't, like, you have to get a more upgraded profile. I'll just go and show you to get, sorry, my daughter's screaming. I hope it's not too loud for you.
No. So this is one of the things why having a verified website is good, because you can see referred traffic, you can see organic activity, you can see what some of your top pins are that are performing from your website, that kind of thing.
Yep. And pin by me, pin, and then so you can see here, these are pinned, this is from somebody else. Somebody pinned it, and this is how many impressions they got for me.
Wow.
It's kind of nice. This is pinned by me. And then this one pinned by somebody else. And so this is the insights are pretty useful as well for your website. They'll show, so there's, sorry, let me go. So you see these grayed out items. I can't access these because I don't have the more upgraded version. So it only gives me a little bit of information as far as on the website stuff, but it is still helpful. Referral traffic, so it can show me how many visitors I'm getting to my website, page views, and also you can start tracking your revenue on your website. Now again, there are some things that are limited. I think I must have updated it because yeah, I can see it all now. Sometimes it'll show, sorry, this is just a glimpse of what it could look like. So
Yeah.
Just,
so fascinating. Anybody else finding this like really, really cool? Like you kind of want to dive in a little bit deeper and be like, how do I optimize this tool? Because, you know, inside of this, you've got board insight, you got pin inspectors. I love that.
yeah. So
This is
board
amazing.
insights. So this gives you an idea of how well your boards are doing. So apparently my Powerful Looks has gotten the most with 3 pins. But then the next board is my dream board. My quotes board gets a lot of repins. And then you can start, you know what? And that's something I don't remember now where from, but like if you go in, I think it was Felicia, she said, you can go, if you go in and start deleting old pins or archiving boards that are not doing well, it ups your profile on Pinterest. So if you come in here and say, you know what, this is not really relevant anymore, you can go into Pinterest and archive that board. Or if you're not adding pins to it anymore. And same with the pin inspector, that's kind of where, this is where we were before, is where you can check out by board, by category, and then reschedule them if you want.
Yeah, this is some really good information.
But the profile, one thing I wanted to point out in the profile performance was here. So they've got a virality score.
Mm-hmm.
So it resets every 30 days, I believe, but it's basically showing I'm doing pretty good. It's been a good average from the last month. Engagement score, it's not quite there, but it's getting better. As like, it just gives you some good insights onto how your engagement is going with your followers. This is for your pins. This is for repins. Like, I mean, if you see, it's just been a continuous upgrade.
Yeah.
And one big secret is that something when working with Katrina is that you always want to remember your keywords. That is and it takes some practice. It does take some practice on what is going to really get out there. But since I've started focusing on that, it's just been a continuous uphill on my engagement, on everything. So
yeah, because if you keyword it correctly, people are able to find you and they'll search you. Now what's interesting, you see the comment section over here?
yep.
So this is one of the reasons why I kind of started looking at how do we use our pin marketing group to comment and engage with each other's pins, because I have a feeling this is going to become more relevant as people are using Pinterest and wanting to find out, is this a good pin or a bad pin? Should I go further? Should I go deeper with this? Should I start learning a little bit more with it? That's why commenting on pins is really going to be a big piece of the puzzle moving forward. I actually see that as people are going to be trusting you. So I look at it like from Google. So Google has, if you haven't noticed, you can become a Google local, which means that you can review places you visit. And by doing that, it actually increases the value of that location. Well, Pinterest is an innovation platform, visual innovation platform. And the better we get with our pins and the more comments they have on it, I truly believe it's going to start weighing in on the Pinterest platform, because people are going to want to know, is this a valuable pin? Where does it lead me? Do I trust, the site? I see people commenting on it. This must be something that is valuable. So commenting, that piece that I'm starting to put into play, I truly believe is going to start having, it's going to have an impact moving forward with what's going to be happening on the Pinterest platform.
You know what's funny is though, since you started doing that, I had one pin that 4 or 5 comments, but it's not showing up here. So I don't know why.
Yeah, so that's in the last 30 days. So it might be,
Well, yeah, and it was in the last 30 days that I put that pin up.
so my question, well, so that leads me to the question I had about this one. Is it track pins that you don't put up into the Tailwind platform? Like, will it track the
Which I did as well. I don't know. It's really weird. I don't know why it's not showing. These 2 comments are actually from, I actually found out like 3 years ago. And on what was it called? It was like a recipe somebody had commented in on trying it. And that's the thing. I also save recipes that get continuous comments and trying as well, but they don't show up here for some reason.
Got it.
So.
All right. Well, I do want to respect everyone's time. We've been on for just a little over an hour, and I know you all have something to things to do. But so if you haven't been playing with Tailwind, I definitely recommend it. For those of you that are watching and saying, "Hey, is there a recording of this?" Yes, this is now an on-demand training. So this allows for you to share it, to go back through it again. And for you, Sarah, since you did the majority of the training, you can also use this to share out to your tribe and let them know what you've created and walk them through this incredible platform. So I really, truly amazing job. And we'll get that over to you. So you'll get the replay. I believe as soon as we end, everybody that's on here will get notified within the day that you can access the replay for this. And so that is going to be something I'll definitely check into. But yeah, you guys should all get the replay within the next few hours, because it's going to be once it renders, it will be ready and available for viewing.
So once we get it, do we take it and put it someplace ourselves so we can go back to it?
You can. I would save the link for sure, because it'll be a URL that you'll get. So you can save the link. You can come back in here at any time. And for those of you that are in the virtual pin workshop, I'll put this in as a bonus, is the automation tool. So that this will be in here for you guys to access also as you need it. And if you have questions, ask Sarah.
Were there any other questions that we wanted to go through right now, or did we want to just go ahead and sum up?
This was a lot to take in, so I think for at least for me, I probably have to repeat this 5 times. But great information. But when you are new, it's all very fast, and but it's great.
Yes, it can be. Like I've been playing with it for 6 months, so yeah, it's been fun.
Sarah, real quick question. So I know that a few years back they stopped auto pinning, where you couldn't auto put it. Is this available now because Pinterest and these platforms have agreed to it?
Yeah, Pinterest and Tailwind are partnered together.
Okay.
So
there's no chance of that getting shut down again, or?
Not that I know of. One thing I do want to point out something new. So see this right here, this little heart, all clear. That's something new that they just added since Pinterest updated it to wanting fresh pins. And so if you ever start seeing this looking angry, that's when you know that you need to stop pinning the same pin over and over and over, and add some fresh pins.
So does it, real quick, sorry to interrupt you. So,
fine.
and you may have already covered this. So a fresh pin, so it has to look fresh?
So a fresh pin,
or does the URL content have to be fresh?
It's both. So a
Okay.
fresh pin is either a fresh image to an old URL or a new URL, period.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
So Regina, basically what Pinterest is saying is that, yes, we have an old school method way back when, where everybody was repinning the same image over and over again and it worked. But now that they're a publicly traded company, they said that doesn't work anymore, because we want to provide as much innovation and visually new things for our pinners to look at instead of the same old pin over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of trying to bury some of the old pins that don't fit the platform, and they're rewarding us as Pinterest users for either putting up a new image or a new pin that leads to a new piece of content and or having a new 3 to 4 pins that go to that same URL.
Yeah.
One
One
thing,
thing,
looking for more images that lead to, you can still lead them to the same landing page, the same opportunity, the same product, but they're just asking that it not just be one pin, one landing page.
yeah. So sometimes you'll get like the board will be highlighted yellow, and this will come up. You've already shared this this URL before. So they're just kind of making sure that you're aware, look, you've already shared this before, make sure that it's fresh. So I hope that helped in answering your question. Okay. Any other questions?
Sarah, this was awesome. I agree with Inga. If I would not have been playing with this for almost a month, I'm like, where'd she go? Where'd she go? I'm glad that Chef recorded it, but you were awesome in helping me understand a little deeper on what we're doing with this. Thank you. Thank you
You're
both.
welcome.
All right.
Yes,
Well,
thank you.
Yeah.
Sarah, again, thank you for your time and walking us through this and really, truly mastering this and showing us what's possible. And everyone, thank you for taking time out of your day to jump in and learn more about this tool and how to
Thank you for
use it.
being
If you
here.
guys have questions, definitely jump into our Facebook group, tag Sarah if you have any questions around this, since I'm going to keep pointing to her as my go-to person for how to use this and how to be more effective with it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Hey,
Look forward to
Katrina,
hearing-
real quick. You said, what's the Facebook group? I'm not sure if I'm in there or not.
So inside of your Pinterest, the virtual pin masterclass or the virtual pin course that you have, on that welcome, that very first module, there's a link in there to access the Facebook group.
Okay.
And so that will bring you in so that it gives you direct access to that one. So that's going to be the way to access the Facebook group. And so that's always available to be asking questions. We have the pin loving in there and the pin your profile. We have the learn how to follow and share with each other. So that group is really being used to give you an extra boost and lift, and then to be able to tie it into this type of tool really is a powerful combination.
Thank you much.
You're welcome. All right, I'm gonna have you stop screen sharing, Sarah.
Okay.
All right, so if you guys haven't gotten into there again, the virtual pin workshop first page is your opportunity to make sure you have access to the Facebook group. Request access, get logged in. I usually announce each one of you for coming in, so you'll see always a little love from the community. And we use that to kind of give you guys some more exposure and then how to use tools like this to grow and build your brand.
Yep.
Cool. All right.
Cool.
Well, everyone, enjoy the rest
Thank
of your
you.
day. Have a safe week. And we'll see you guys in the next Pinterest training.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Both.
Training.